Hey everybody, it's Chris Marshall of the Payne Street Team, brought to you by Payne Auto Group Valley-wide and PayneAutoGroup.com. And it's time for another episode of Payne Auto Talk. And today on Payne Auto Talk, we have Mr. Tristan Guyton. Some people say Guyton, but guess what? It's Guytan. That's a new one for me, bro. Welcome to Payne Auto Talk, man.
Thank you. Glad to be here. I appreciate you inviting me.
Cool. And you are the agent manager, not for James Bond, but you, we were joking about that earlier. You're the agent manager for Payne Insurance Group.
That's right. Yeah.
So Payne Auto Group, we sell vehicles and we maintain vehicles and we have parts and service, all that good stuff. And now insurance. And yep. Payne Insurance Group, I know the acronym is PIG, PIG. And how long has Payne Insurance Group been in effect?
Oh, man, the past 10 years. Yeah.
10 years?
Yeah,
it's been a decade?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And what options do they offer for, like, let's say auto?
Yeah, so we do, of course, your standard auto insurance that you're required to have to drive out the lot. But we also do commercial auto, and then we do motorcycle, ATV, four-wheeler, travel trailer. I mean, we do the whole shebang.
So we've got auto and motorcycle, of course, for all the 2 and 4 wheeler or 2 and 3 wheelers, but also you do stuff for ATVs.
Yeah, man. It's really, if you can drive it, we can insure it. That's pretty much we got everything covered. Really, we're kind of a one-stop shop for insurance. So, like I said, if it's got an engine, I mean, the golf carts we can insure.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much anything. Boats, we do boats. We do what are those little Ski-Doos?
Watercraft.
Yeah.
Watercraft. There we go. I had to think. Yeah, so they call them Sea-Doos, jet skis, wave runners.
Yeah, we do it all, man. And we do, like I said, we also do commercial. So small business, mid-sized businesses, we can cover as well, both for vehicles as well as their actual like general liability. Yeah,
I was wondering because we do commercial and fleet, and you got to have commercial grade vehicles and commercial grade insurance. Yep. So so that's auto, but is it home, auto, life?
Yeah. So interestingly enough, life we're going to start doing pretty soon here in the next couple months. We're going to roll out life as an offering as well, but for now we just do auto, home, and commercial. Okay. But before the end of the year, we will add life to that as well. So
home insurance, is that like including renters insurance?
Yeah, renters, condo. We do your standard homeowners. We do for landlords, so landlords insurance. Okay. Yeah, if you got rental properties, we can insure those as well. So yeah, like I said, the whole shebang.
Yeah, a true one-stop shop.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, come get your vehicles. Well, I need insurance. Lucky for you, and here we are.
Mm-hmm. Just try to make it easy.
And you're the agent manager. That means like you're a poobah. You're a honcho.
You could say that, I guess, but no, I really just it's sales manager. So I manage the insurance agents. We have 4-person team right now. Okay. So I manage the whole sales process and make sure our customers are taken care of.
Yeah, Tristan, I know it took us a little bit to get here going with the podcast, but ladies and gentlemen, it's a business. People come in, and did you have any curveballs today?
Not quite yet. I mean, a little bit of a, came right in, had a customer that had some trouble getting insurance, had to step in and get that taken care of. But it's an everyday thing. It keeps it interesting.
Monday being Monday.
Yeah, there you go. Gotta love Mondays. Right?
Yeah, one of our coworkers here, he dropped his phone. I was like, hey, don't worry about it. It's Monday. He goes, I've already dropped it twice. I was like, oh, it's definitely Monday for you. So, and how did you get into the auto industry here doing this?
Man, so I was not planning on it. Let's just say that.
Welcome to my world.
It just kind of happened. Yeah. No, I was going to school a while back in Houston, actually. Planned on going for physical therapy.
Oh.
Yeah. That didn't work out. Whole different direction. Yeah. But no, when I moved to the Valley, because I'm originally not from the Valley. I'm not a Valley native. I'm actually from Minnesota, so way opposite side of the country.
Yeah, dude, where it's cold.
Yeah, oh yeah,
where the Rospa falls from the sky, bro.
Yeah, there you go. We got it. We got it coming out of the sky. So you just pour the syrup on and. But yeah, so I grew up over there in Minnesota, and I hadn't even heard of this place, honestly.
Yeah, we get that sometimes.
Right.
You're like, what's this?
Yeah, no, my wife, she's from here, so
All
that's
right.
how I ended up here. But when
right.
she told me about the valley, I was thinking California. That's the only valley
yeah.
I knew of.
Oh, we have a beach.
Yeah, close enough. Close enough. I'll take it. But that's how I ended up here. And when I came down, I had a family member who was working in insurance
Okay.
for Fred Loya at the time. So
I got you.
she got me in the door. I started there, and then kind of, went into another form of sales and some tech sales. And then I saw Payne was hiring. I applied and fell in love with the place and been here ever since.
Awesome. Dude, so we're gonna backtrack a little bit. So you're from Minnesota. So what was it like growing up there, man?
Cold. I could sum it up in one word.
Did you even own a pair of flip flops up there?
Oh man, no, not. So
no chocolates yet. Dude.
Interestingly enough, I had a buddy growing up, and every time it would snow, which was half the year, he would come out in his big snow jacket and a pair of shorts, and I'm like, I don't understand. He's, some people. They love the cold. I wasn't one of them.
Yeah,
never got used to it.
The winter Texans, it's hard to keep clothes on them when there's, it's not that cold down here. What you got that windbreaker on for? It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, 50 degrees is like they're going to the beach.
Yeah. It's like that polar bear club. I ain't doing that. And also y'all up there, snow chains.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also the insurance rates up there. What's that like?
Oh man,
Lord.
It's a big difference, honestly. State to state, you have differences with insurance. Texas is a whole another thing than Minnesota and any other state. But it's because you got different, over there we get snowstorms, right? Blizzards at least once a year, sometimes twice, sometimes more. The year I left, when I graduated high school, I left and came to Texas. That year, we had a blizzard in May. A full-on snowstorm covering the trees, the ground, the cars in May. So that just gives you an idea of the weather over there.
So people walking to get their diploma, they got their shovel.
Yeah.
There's a snow blower in the first row.
Mm-hmm. Got to dig out the seats.
Yeah. Oh my God. In May.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Country mouse, city mouse. I was like, if I was up there, that'd be a culture shock for me.
Oh yeah, it's a big difference.
So when you came down here, how was that culture shock?
Man, I loved the weather at first because I was running from the cold. I was like, I can't do this. No, I can't do another year of digging out my car every morning just to go to work. It was, I had enough of that. So I came down. I was like, yeah, no snow. It's beautiful, sunny year round. And it took me all of maybe 3 months to go, I don't know if this heat is for me.
It's a bit balmy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One extreme to the other. So I'm still getting used to it, actually, 8 years later.
Yeah, they say that an old saying, the devil don't vacation in Texas because it's just too hot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a true saying. So.
Yeah, and they go, oh, it's so subtropical down here. It's like, go outside for 10 minutes. Yeah. And not in the shade. Get out there in the sun. Get you some of
Even
that.
in the shade, man. It's every time I step outside for 10 seconds and I'm melting already.
Yeah, dude, I could sit on a block of ice and sweat. Yeah. So when I sit there and I look at my spare tire at my midsection, I'm going, all I got to do is be outside for a little bit. And my clothes are going to fit so much better.
It'll just melt away.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything.
It's the new Fahrenheit diet. If it hits 100 more, we're doing great. And then we get the heat index and all that.
Yeah.
Well, one thing is, I know up north, when it snows, they salt the roads. Mm-hmm. And some people don't think about that down here, except for when you go to the beach, that's salt water and that's sand, and it has that salt in there. And believe it or not, that kind of eats up your undercarriage in the bottom of your vehicle. So it's like I remind people, if you're going to get your insurance through Payne Insurance Group, and we do your maintenance, whether you're driving up north on salty roads or down at the island and all that kind of jazz, don't just wash the outside of your vehicle, the underside too, to keep it from rusting.
Yeah,
I tell you
it'll last longer. Yeah, take care of it and keep it washed. And actually growing up in Minnesota, that was one big challenge.
Like the car washes there had like the underside spray nozzles and stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to really take extra care with your vehicle because it's hard to keep up with just the amount of snow and damage to the underside of the vehicle, and then the rust, it would rust a lot quicker than I guess down here.
Yeah, that's like on old Mopars, on old muscle cars from Dodge, Plymouth, and Chrysler. The quarter panels would start rusting at the bottom around the wheel wells, and then the back windows where that chrome trim was. I learned that from one of my instructors in college. He's like, he drove old Dodges and stuff. He goes, yeah, look for this here. And I go, why does it do that? Well, the car came from up north where they salt the roads. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why do they put salt on it? He goes, it snows up there. And I'm like, oh, my bad. So you got down here. The missus is here. So, all right, one more thing about how's the food different?
Oh,
yeah.
See, there we
go.
That was a happy surprise for me. The food is amazing. I mean, all over Texas. When I first came down, I lived in Houston, and that was just, I mean, there was a new restaurant on every corner. So that was amazing. Way different than what I was used to in Minnesota. Not to say that there's not restaurants out there, especially when you get to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. You got a little bit of a selection there, but it's nowhere close to what we got down here.
Yeah, I went to Houston 20 years ago, and had soul food for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what is this? And then, of course, we left. I was like, I want to go back to that cafeteria. It was great.
Yeah, man. I mean, any type of food you can think of, you could find it in Houston. But also down here in the valley, man, I'm pleasantly surprised about the selection that we can get down here. Just from a place that I had never heard of to moving down here and trying the tacos and the different kinds of food. And then McAllen's got a good selection as well.
It's all the way. I mean, even from like us, Brownsville to Rio Grande City and beyond, even San Antonio had to get a Delia's up there. They had to get Delia's tamales up there.
Yeah.
People are like, I'm tired of driving to the valley. So I guess they actually checked their, what do you call it, the suggestion box. So they got that going on.
Yeah.
And I know some people from the Midwest, and they came down, they go, I thought tamales came in a can wrapped in paper. And I'm like, no.
You got to have the real deal.
Yeah, it ain't bad.
It'll change your life.
Is the missus in the insurance business too?
No. She's not working now, but when she was doing some tech company AI stuff.
Whoa.
That's
she's
her.
got a brain.
Oh yeah, she's great with technology. I always joke that I'm born in the wrong century. I should have been born in the 1800s or something, because if it's not analog or pen and paper,
Renaissance man.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Let's go with that.
Yeah, one of my favorite guitar players, Joe Walsh from the Eagles and James Gang, he says he had a song, I'm an analog man. He's analog man trapped in a digital world. I'm the same way. I still love pen to paper, paper book.
Yeah, same here, man. I love putting my hands on it, instead of the little swiping through the tablet.
What's it called, a Kindle or something like that? Or even on our tablet or phone.
Man, we sound old right now, but
I know. Dude, it's what's the old Indiana Jones? It's not the age, it's the mileage.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. So you're going to study physical therapy. You're going to go and do that and help people out. Now it's like, I'm going to help you out get insurance.
Yeah. It's funny because I not at all pictured myself in the insurance industry. Didn't know much about it. Maybe that's probably why, but just was not at all on my mind. But I love it. I mean, I love that I get to help people. I get to educate people. I think there's a lot about insurance people don't understand. So being able to kind of walk them through, something that you have to get, and kind of explain it and help them see, how can I help you save money and how can I help you understand how this is a benefit to you. I really enjoy it. Yeah,
like there's like common things like, what's a premium? Like what's a premium?
Yeah, premium. So that's just the total that your insurance costs, right? Over the course of 6 months or 12 months, however long the term is, that total amount is your premium.
And when it comes down to what's it called? Oh, it escapes me now. Now that I'm thinking about it, because it's like, people think about their car, and how often do you think about your insurance?
Yeah.
And how important it is. And of course, like you have liability, full coverage. Like if you have a vintage vehicle, I believe there's vintage insurance.
So there's companies that'll cover for vintage vehicles, and there's different ways you can, I guess, package the policy depending on how much you drive the vehicle, or if it's just going to sit there, if it's like a show car,
or a weekend toy like a Corvette.
So you'll need different coverages versus somebody who's driving every day. So,
and as I'm sitting there going, I need to sit here and really think about what I'm going to say, because some people are noobs and babes in the woods, and we sit there and it's like, okay, I'm just going to get liability only. Let me know what this is, and then. What's it called when you have, here I am, people are like, wow, Chris, you don't know that? No, it's like you pay a certain way, and let's say you do have an incident, and your deductible. What is a deductible?
Oh, great question.
Yeah, this is the one thing that people, well, what's my deductible? And I'm like, that's a good question. What does that mean?
The mystery.
Yeah.
But no, your deductible is just the amount that you're responsible for before your insurance company is going to cover the rest. So whether usually deductibles 500 or 1,000, those are typically the options for most companies. And so you get into an accident, it's going to cost $20,000. You're responsible for that $500 deductible, and your insurance company is going to cover the remaining $19,500.
Okay,
that's how that works.
Mm-hmm. Just curious. And of course, you can have your common fender bender, and the one thing people, when they love their car, it's like, please don't total my car. And of course, that's the adjuster. That's the individual who comes and assesses to say, let's see how bad is the boo-boo on your car.
What's the damage?
Yeah. And I know that breaks people's hearts sometimes, because I know it'd break my heart. I mean, I get attached. Our vehicles aren't just our conveyance. It's like, and being an old cavalry trooper, it's like, that's my mount. That's my...
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of... It's
a part of you every day.
Yeah, it's part of you. You drive it every day, and you got something that you like, something that's kind of becomes part of your personality in a sense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, it's a big part of people's lives. And that's why, I mean, I really try to educate people, because, you have a lot of people who are like, I'll just get liability. I'll just do the basic, simple. And I'm like, I understand.
And that's what the law says. We have to have liability as a minimum.
Totally get it. But, when you're driving around a $50,000 truck, you might want to protect that,
Yeah. And I've got a 20, oh my Lord, it's a 23-year-old truck. It was my dad's, and I'm resurrecting it. So yeah, I'm gonna need some insurance. Let's say the tier system. Like, I always like tier system. Like, we think of bronze, silver, gold.
Yeah.
The Olympic thing. So let's say your bronze is your liability only. Where do we go from there up the scale?
Oh, that's a great way to think about it. So I would say the way I would position it is, you got your bronze at liability, and then you got your comprehensive and collision, which is what you could call full coverage. That's when you're financing a vehicle, that's what the bank usually considers full coverage, comprehensive and collision.
Okay.
And then, that might be your silver. And then your gold is you're going to get everything. You're going to get the roadside assistance. You're going to get the rental car and towing.
Oh, that's cool.
You're going to get fully covered on every way you can think about it. Uninsured motorist, personal injury protection.
Yeah, what uninsured motorist, that covers the opposite party. Let's say you get a little fender bender, right?
So uninsured motorist, the way that works, and there's some misconception about this, but let's say you get into an accident. The other guy, he's the one who caused it. He was texting and driving. He hits you, and he doesn't have insurance, right? Because normally his insurance would cover the damages to your vehicle, but if he doesn't have insurance, now what do we do? Well, uninsured motorist kicks in, and that's what covers you in those scenarios. But if you have comprehensive and collision, your comprehensive and collision will cover you also. There's just some differences between those. One being the deductible, and then another being kind of how the insurance company views the aftermath of that. And that's a whole nother story we can get into. But yeah.
All right. And let's say with the comprehensive, that cover, like, the deductible is a certain amount, but when you have the uninsured motorist, that helps bring it down.
Yes, exactly. So when you have uninsured motorist, your deductible is $250. It never goes up, never changes. It's always $250. So if you have a scenario where somebody hits you and they don't have insurance, and you do have uninsured motorist on your policy, you can know that all you're responsible for is that $250. And insurance company is going to cover the rest. Okay.
And since we're not only on a state border down here, we're on an international border. How does that play with our neighbors and visitors from across down in Mexico coming here to drive? and their insurance down there is a certain way. How does that intermingle and when worlds collide and bumpers do too?
That's a great question, especially for where we're at here in the Valley. So it really just depends on the scenario. I do know that there are some international insurance companies. You got Chubb for one. They cover countries. They cover Mexico, Canada. They cover the whole North American region. Some drivers from Mexico might have that company, in which case that company would cover an accident over here. Most times, though, they probably don't have Chubb, and then in which case, you're gonna want uninsured motorists or full coverage, or
because if they don't have insurance, I mean, whose fault is it? Is it automatically ours because they're visiting from another country? Is it?
Yeah. So I mean, it would still, the way it would go is it would still be whoever caused the accident. So if they run into you, it's still their fault.
Okay.
But if they don't have insurance, you're gonna have to use your policy.
Yeah. You better get that paddle for the creek you just ended up in.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, I was curious about that because there's a lot of myths and misnomers and just I'll even say the words. Some people, you got to play fact or crap. It's like which is the truth.
Yeah.
And some people say, oh well, if somebody a driver from say Mexico hits me, it's automatically my fault. I'm like, it is. Like if they rear end you,
No.
It's like that. It's like let's what is this fantasy world that you're painting this picture of? Explain it to me. And I've asked law enforcement officers, is this true? And it's like, who is telling you this? Like, no, it's just it's like things I hear.
Just a rumor out there.
Yeah, it's in the ether, and I'm in public relations, and getting out and talking to people, and they say these things, and I'm going,
I'm not sure about.
Yeah, it's like the smell test. It's like something stinks. I don't like this. So we got that, and that's for. Like, let's say the comprehensive and collision, does that apply to boats on the water?
Yeah, you can get comprehensive and collision for your boat.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's similar coverages across the board when you're talking about property damage or property coverage, whether it be a boat or motorcycle or
watercraft.
Yeah,
it's
watercraft.
Like, because these people zip around on their jet ski or Sea-Doo or whatever, and all of a sudden they're hitting somebody's bay boat.
Yeah.
It's like,
there's similarities across the different policy types as far as coverage goes. Differences as well. So each policy, even though it seems like it's just full coverage or it's just liability or it's
still tailor-made, right?
Yeah, it's tailor-made because we got to look at your specific watercraft or your specific vehicle and your specific situation and try to find the best coverage for what you need. So, yeah.
And when people come to you or your reps who you manage, your agents, that before your agents go out, do they have to report to Q branch, to quartermaster, to get their little laser pin? No.
Yeah, get their tech set up, their gear.
Yeah, their ejector seat in the Aston. I love James Bond. But when somebody comes in and they say, "Look, I need a policy for A, B, and C." And they tailor make it to them. It's like, okay, liability only, of course, or liability, that's where we're starting at. And they start stacking it like it's also my spouse. It's maybe a kid, and it just goes from there. How do they build the policy?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we try to ask a lot of questions, and I've had some customers that are like, "Why, I go to other agents and they don't ask these questions." And I go, well, I can't speak for other agents, but here at Payne Insurance, we really want to make sure that we're actually covering what you need.
Yeah, the bases.
Yeah. We don't want to just like write you a policy and you get out there and you're paying $100 a month, and then when it comes down to it, it doesn't cover you, right? So we really try to tailor it to what you actually need. So we're going to ask questions. We're going to try to get a good understanding of what you're needing, and then we're going to recommend, go with this coverage, and we can put this one on there based off of what you need.
Yeah, and the different companies that y'all work with, their policies are sometimes different. They may be, black and white when it comes down to the basics, and all of a sudden it starts going off into the weeds. So it's actually finding that certain, what do you call it, insurance carrier? You call it
carrier.
A carrier to sit there and go, oh, okay, so you're doing commercial, so this is more of your speed.
Right. Yeah, and certain companies are better for certain types of people. That's one thing people don't really know as well. I guess it wouldn't be common knowledge. But yeah, certain companies have like a ideal customer, and so as an agent, we want to try to put you with a company that's going to be a better fit for your needs versus just putting you with anyone. So.
Okay. And with also home, let's say the home insurance, like I said, there's people that own homes, there's people that rent, and then landlords. So the landlord, that would be in the commercial kind of field, wouldn't it?
It depends. Not always. So we could do like a DP3, which is typically if you're renting out your home, that's the type of home policy you would want to cover your property while you're renting it to someone else. And then we also could do landlord's liability, right? So it protects you as a landlord in case your tenants get upset and they try to sue you or something. So
I got you.
It just really depends on your specific needs again. And sometimes people own one house or two houses that they rent out, or they have a whole company that's all they do is rent out homes. So that makes a difference as well.
Yeah, and even in the modern age, especially with the advent of the internet, the people's what's the common phrase? The income stream. That's the fancy way of saying side hustle. With folks that they have their own property and they have a home, but they've got that old RV out back.
Yeah.
And they clean it up and they use that as a rental apartment. And does that renter or that landlord insurance kind of carry over to that, or the old the loft above the garage and whatnot?
So that gets tricky. That gets a little tricky.
Like, yes.
Especially when you're talking about renting out like an RV, like especially if it's on your land.
Yeah.
But you're renting it out to someone. A lot of carriers may not want to cover a risk like that. So that's a little bit more tricky to place that type of coverage, but it can be done. And then renting out a room in your home, or just a section of the home.
Subletting a room. I was going to ask about that, because sometimes it's like, well, it's somebody gets like, let's say a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And because my name is on the lease, of course I get the master and I get the master bath, but I'm going to rent out these 2 rooms. I'm going to sublet those rooms to these folks. So can I get it covered with them here?
So again, that's another tricky one.
Yeah.
Because what carriers look at is risk, right? So the higher the risk, they can be a little more picky, because they're thinking about what can go wrong here to where they're going to want to sue you, or they're going to want to come after you, and that's where we come in to cover you, right?
Gotcha.
But they look at the risk factor there. So those scenarios where you're kind of renting out a room in your home or a section of your house, we can find coverage for that as well. But it's not as simple as you've got a house that you just have specifically just for renting out the whole house. That's a little easier.
Yeah, because people get these cabins, and it's an income stream. They'll get these secondhand cabins. They'll do the spray and insulation. They do their drywall, gypsum, whatever you want to call it, and they sit there and they rent that. They're mini split, of course, but what a miracle the modern age them things are. I think our IT department is still running a Mitsubishi mini split from before they even made it into the warp core in there, with all the rack mount and stuff. And but people they're renting out these little cabins out back, and now there's a thing for when your in-laws or a family member gets on an age and they can live out back. They call them granny pods. And it's like a 1-1 where they have the bedroom, a kitchenette. It's like an economy apartment. And I see that and I'm going, okay, I can see people renting that out. Or if your loved one lives in there, does the policy carry over to that separate structure? There's the words I was looking for. It's on the property, but it's a separate structure, still on the same, it's its own meter sometimes. So
well, there's as part of your homeowner's policy, they do have a coverage for like your standard HO3, which is a regular homeowner's policy, or standard homeowner's policy. Other structures is typically covered in that policy. Now, again, whether you're renting out that other structure or You got a whole nother family in that other structure. That where things get a little tricky, and we got to ask some questions, and we got to do things a little differently based on what you need. So the details matter.
Okay.
But just as a general, are other structures covered? Yeah, generally yes.
Okay, I'm going to go way out on a limb here. Now, I don't see this down here, but there are places, let's say on the coast, where somebody to kind of skirt some of the taxation stuff, they have a boat and they're at a dock and they pay, it's like a rental space for the boat, but that's their residence.
Oh, okay.
Is there a
houseboat situation?
Yeah, houseboat. So is it a home? Is it a boat? Is there a hybrid thing? Like what happens with that?
Yeah. So I mean, you can, again, there are companies that will take on risks that way. Like if you live full time in your boat, right? There's insurance companies that are going to cover that risk. They're going to cover it as a boat, not really as a home, as a homeowner's, right? Because it's not a home, it's a boat. So you can get boat coverage for that. That'll cover a full time. You live in it full time. Yeah. But again, anytime you're dealing with a situation that's kind of deviating from the norm, is when it gets a little tricky on placing coverage, where you have some companies that are going to go, no, thank you. We're not going to cover that just because it's a bit more risky. But that's the beauty of working with a broker like Payne Insurance, where we have multiple companies. So if one says no, it's like, okay, well, we have other options. We can look at.
Because even when we're selling vehicles, it's like we've got over 30 lenders, dude. I mean, there's a web of people. And I was like, does Payne Insurance Group have that? And apparently so. How many total carriers are?
We've got over 20 for sure.
And it's growing.
It's growing. Yeah. Because we want to make sure that we have options for our customers. Especially because, like I said, when you get into tricky scenarios, some companies are going to say no, so we want to be able to find other options. So we're constantly looking for other companies to make sure we have the right options for our customers.
Okay, and let's say if you have a relative back home in Minnesota and they want to purchase insurance from you, as long as the policy in Texas or that company here has some sort of reciprocity with Minnesota, then it's all good to go.
So the way that's
the
a good
cross
question.
state lines thing.
Yeah, that is a great question because we see that quite a bit. So insurance is regulated on a state level. Okay. So you've got a Texas Department of Insurance, and then Minnesota has their own thing going on over there. And there's some similarities because there's some federal laws that take oversight.
Uncle Sam.
They get involved. But generally it's a state level thing. So if you buy a vehicle in Texas, you have to get it insured in Texas. It has to be a Texas policy. And then for the way that insurance works in Texas, that vehicle has to be here in Texas most of the time. So if you're going to keep it in Minnesota most of the time, then you're going to want to get a Minnesota policy. Yeah.
And this is like winter Texans. When they come down here, it's like, well, I'm here for 3 months of the year. So hopefully from their home state, we'll honor that. Or even if, let's say, if they wanted to say, hey, can I get 3 months? Can I get 90 to 120 days of some coverage here in Texas, just in case, to bolster and support what I already have. Some people are on a budget, but what if they want to do that because there's a certain risk of being down here?
Well, I mean, you've got companies that'll do like 30-day policies, right? So you could do just a 30-day policy for the time that you're going to be in Texas, and then when you go back over to, let's say Minnesota or wherever else, then you have a policy over there. Because if you just have this Texas policy, right, but you live in Minnesota most of the time, that's where your house is, that's where you keep your cars the majority of the time.
That's where the mail goes.
Yeah. Yep. You run into the risk of you get into an accident over there, and your insurance company, while they're investigating what happened, your Texas insurance company is going to go, well, why is it in Minnesota? How long has it been in Minnesota? How long do you plan on it being in Minnesota? And they're going to ask these questions, and that's going to really determine whether they cover it or not. So
there's your monkey wrench. Insert monkey wrench here.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna go way out. Oh yeah, I love this. This is great because I don't get to talk to folks about insurance. You do, and this is great. All right, now we got home, auto. You said life is coming up. We'll get to that in a second because y'all paying Payne does not stand still because we have Brownsville to Rio, and now we're in Alice, brother. We're in Alice.
Expanding.
Yeah, the Northern March. So, aviation. Now, there's all sorts of, like you said, tailor-made stuff. And I know I'm like, now the guy's talking, Chris is talking about airplanes. I love airplanes. I know people who fly them. They're cool. But let's say like in Texas, we have this thing called a barn dominium. All right. And of course, that's a home, that's a residence. And I'm sure there's tailor-made stuff for that.
Yep.
Now, when it comes down to, let's say, and I've seen this happen, and some people call it living the life of Riley, but sometimes things don't work out in life. I was up in Boerne, Texas, Boerne Stage Airport, great place. They had a couple of warbirds there, a Vietnam era one. I'm like, all right. And I saw 3 guys working a grill out in front of a hangar, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go see what's going on over here. And each one of these hangars, they had their airplane, they had a sports car, they had their motorcycle, and they basically had an economy apartment. And they were living on airport grounds. And I'm going, okay, if this is their main residence, how are they insuring this? And I was like, hey, what's going on? I said, hey, yeah, we're all 3 divorced and we fly. So, she got the home, I got the hangar. And that's how they live, and it's like, y'all just hang out and fly. Yeah, we go to work and come fly. And I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry to hear about that one part, but this other part sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's, if that was qualified as a home, could it be insured?
Well, yeah. Now, whether it would be qualified as a home is the question.
Yeah.
And that, again, depends on the company that you're trying to quote with. But typically, it wouldn't be qualified as a home, just standard in general. You'd have to cover it as it's an airplane hangar, right? Now, there are policies where, let's say you cover this as an airplane hangar, but then you have your personal items there because you're living there. You can cover your personal property, have a separate policy just to cover your personal property.
Like if I insured a storage unit, is that possible?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So you can get insurance for your contents, right? Your
Okay.
personal property in the storage unit. There are standalone policies just for personal property.
It's kind of like renter's insurance because you don't own the home, but it's all your stuff.
Very much like renter's
okay.
insurance. And renter's insurance also covers your personal property.
Okay.
It's basically just covers the contents and not the home or the structure itself.
I
So those are options for people who have out of the ordinary living situations.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I gotta throw this in there. And we have home, we have boats, but is Payne looking into or considering finding a carrier, a company that does aviation insurance? Let's say somebody's like, hey, I'm gonna go get my private pilot's license. And I passed my medical, and I'm just going to fly right now to get my license. It's going to be to work, let's say, it's toward a commercial rating. And for people that don't know, it's not like you get a driver's license and then here's the keys to a jumbo jet. You've got to accrue a lot of hours.
A bit more to it.
Yeah, you're if you don't own the aircraft, you're renting it. You're paying for fuel. You're paying for all this other stuff. You might be thrown in for maintenance, and you're getting the pilot's license. You get the instrument rating so you can fly without seeing outside, because that happens in a rainstorm or at night. And then, of course, with your multi-engine, if it's going to have 2 engines or more, and then you get a commercial rating, kind of like your CDL, basically for the air, where you can haul cargo and people for compensation. And I'm just watering it down. And would Payne Payne Insurance Group, I should say, like when it comes to an aviation aspect, would they start doing that, or if y'all?
Yeah, well, I mean, we do have some companies already that will cover aircraft and aviation policies. So we do already have. It's not a main focus of ours because we just don't.
Yeah, it's
get a lot of it.
It's uncommon,
right?
But it is there.
Okay. We do have options for that. Yes.
Okay, cool. Because that's one thing people don't think about. Like, I'm gonna get my pilot's license and I'm gonna go do this. I'm like, and life insurance, of course, it's an airplane. I get it. It's not like, the engine conked out and I'm just gonna pull over. It don't work like that.
Not so simple.
Yeah, and I've flown forward with friends, and I'm sitting all of a sudden sputter. It's like, we got an issue. It's like, yeah, we might have to turn back. I'm like, oh, man. And people think about life insurance, but it's like the aircraft itself. Like in case there are fender benders that happen on the ramp. Hey, man, I have Instagram too. I saw that one jet's wing knock over the vertical fin on another, commercial airliner. And I'm like, they're not going anywhere. So I was like, this is going to be an insurance nightmare for these companies. So,
but, I mean, you've got, with aviation, you've got policies that are going to cover property damage, just like with any other type of vehicle.
Running into a fence back,
And then you've got your liability portion of it where, you have that fender bender where you're on the runway and you make a wrong turn and you run into another plane or you hit
somebody
the building.
Taxis
So, of course, that will fall under liability, which is also part of, an aviation policy. Now, I will say there aren't a lot of companies out there that want to deal with that.
Because it's risk.
Yeah, exactly.
The game of risk.
Exactly.
Not just a board game anymore, people.
No, definitely. It's, you're talking, thousands to millions of dollars involved here. So
yeah, airplanes ain't cheap.
Yeah, exactly. But there are specialized companies that will cover those types of risks, and we do have a couple options.
Yeah, I can't even name them. It's been so long since I've kind of had a foot or at least a pinky toe in that industry because. Full disclosure, I graduated from Texas State Technical College in Harlingen, and that's a federal aviation Part 147 school, and learned aviation maintenance. I wanted to get my mechanics license, and then all of a sudden I started playing music, and all of a sudden I'm in this marketing job for an auto group. It's like, what happened here? So I had to ask because we're right here by Mid-Valley Airport, which is now Mid-Valley International, and this is going to be something big because I think, Governor Abbott came down, and it was like a $22 million grant. Yeah. They had the funding, so Mid-Valley Airport's going to be expanding.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, because we have Harlingen International Airport that used to be Harlingen Army Airfield. We have McAllen Miller over in McAllen, of course. And, of course, we have Edinburgh, and that's out there on 281.
I heard they're expanding Edinburgh as well. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, so. There's some talk, and I'm not in those. I mean, I'd love to be a fly on the wall. It's like airplane stuff, to me, it's like 100 low-lead aviation gasoline is perfume to me, or cologne. Cologne in my case, I'm like, dab that on there, see what lands. But no pun intended. But yeah, it's just because we're right here, and Mid-Valley Airport's right there. And they have a flight school there, and I'm just like, I'm going to ask. Now, I don't know if they're going to do the barn dominium thing or the plane dominium.
Yeah. Plane dominium.
It's like, I'm going to live here with my airplane and my sports car. So,
I mean, I'm sure, like you said, there's cases where that happens. So.
Yeah, life happens, and there's some weirdos out there, man. Well, not weirdos. I mean, I love these people. Like, I make fun of, well, not make fun of, but a little tongue-in-cheek, like, Jeep people. That's like a subculture, man. It
really is. That's kind of going back to vehicles kind of being a part of your personality. I mean, you've got people who they're like, man, my Jeep that's my. It's like people are with their dog,
Yeah.
Like
the dog takes on the personality of the owner.
Yeah, the Jeep is in the family photos and.
Yeah, it's like, hold on, wait, I need another rubber duck. Now let's think about that. Somebody has a Jeep. And let's say it's their weekend toy, and they're taking their Wave Runner to the island. It's like, you need You need auto.
Yep.
And for your watercraft too.
Yep.
And not just the watercraft. That extends to the trailer? Does it not?
Yeah. If you're using a trailer to haul, you're gonna want trailer coverage as well.
Yeah, and that kind of ties in. Well, that's personal. It's not commercial. But even let's say if I have a Wells cargo trailer, and I can tag that onto my auto policy, right? Like I use this on occasion, and does it cover the actual trailer or the items inside, or is it still tailor made to?
So that again depends on the company that you're quoting with, because different companies are going to have different offerings and different ways that they'll allow you to structure the policy.
Okay.
So that's where it's going to come down to the agent talking with the customer and going, hey, this is what you need, so I'm going to recommend we try these companies because they're going to have the best offerings for what you're needing, the best coverage options for what you're needing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and I know people work on a budget. I get it. And my dad had this saying, and I hear it all the time in my head. It doesn't cost that much more to go first class. And sometimes it is nice having that. And also, there's 3 things he taught me. And I do this. Can you afford it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really need it? Can you live without it? Mm-hmm. And it's like those 3 things I've used when making a purchase, from a candy bar to whatever. And with insurance, it's, I believe comedian Chris Rock once said, it's in case of blank happening. And it's like, to have that assurance.
Yeah.
That's.
Well, I think a lot of people don't think about it in the sense of the in case of, unfortunately, is a lot more common than we'd like to admit.
Yeah, it never happens to us until it does. And and for those out there that if you only have liability, I get it. At least you're abiding by Texas state law with your automobile. But depending on the risk and where you're going, that's that roll of the dice, man.
Yeah, you really are. I mean, you're gambling a bit.
Yeah,
especially too when we're talking about, again, vehicles are expensive nowadays. Your trucks are $50,000 plus. And you're financing that puppy for 7 years, and if you get into an accident, something happens, you can't drive it, you still got to pay the bank. They're not gonna. Oh yeah,
that payment doesn't.
They want
stop.
that loan paid off still. So.
Oh, like your boat. Oh yeah, a manufactured defect or something of a bolt or a small plate, and all of a sudden your 200 horsepower Yamaha saltwater series motor drops off the back of your bay boat and is now basically an artifact for Indiana Jones to find. I know it's shallow out there, but I'm just saying it's like, first of all, you got to paddle back. And second, it's like, you need the insurance to cover that motor.
Right.
And with the boat, it's not just the hull, there's the motor there too, because I both believe I have a title. You have a title for the motor and the engine. So they're tailor-made. We can say, hey, look, I really love this engine. Like, if something happens to the boat, I'll take the engine off and find another hole. But I got to have insurance on this engine.
Well, usually the engine's the expensive part, too.
Yeah. So. Oh, yeah. Like I said, a Yamaha saltwater series 4-stroke. Somebody out there right now is drooling, just like, oh, I want that for my boat. And I've seen those Yamaha VMAXs and Suzukis and Mercuries that'll make your head explode. It's like, wow. Especially those offshore boats.
Oh, yeah.
That have like 3 or 4 motors on it. It's
yeah.
At that point, it's like, look, I know you need to push that thing, but this is bragging now. This is all just like, look what I got. Hey, it's your wallet, man. It's your personality.
You do what you want to do, man.
So, man, this is great. This is great info, man. So now I got to dive off into some certain things, and I just want to touch on commercial and fleet.
Okay, yeah,
that's a big thing. I mean, Valley businesses, and whenever I say commercial and fleet, I know people think of a big box truck, or they're thinking of a dump truck or a bucket truck, like what they use, like what the power company uses to fix lines. But people do commercial and fleet. They'll do a fleet of cars.
Yeah.
They'll sit there and go, okay, for my company, I need 5 of these minivans or 5 of these, and what kind of coverage do I get? And tailor make it to that. So let's say it's like these floral companies or food service.
Yeah.
So it's not just the vehicle; they got to cover the product.
Yeah.
And then the driver. Now the driver habits. That is part of the risk, right?
That is, and people don't. Again, there's a lot with insurance that I think people just kind of don't think about, but there's a lot of factors that are involved in the rate that you pay and the way that your policy has to be structured. And driving, your driver and your driver's habits is a huge part of it. Your driver's history, if they've had lots of tickets or they've been in quite a few fender benders, that's going to impact a lot of different things, because then again, you're bigger risk, right? So that matters. Who's driving is a big factor in the policy, both in how the policy needs to be written and what you're going to pay for it.
Yeah. Also, let's say if your employee who drives your commercial vehicle, they've got a good record, and all of a sudden they don't tell you, but for some reason they have a suspended license, and they're still driving your vehicle, and they get in a little boo-boo. All of a sudden, that
presents an issue. See, here's the thing too. Being honest on your insurance policy is very important.
Is key.
Yeah, it's very important when it comes to actually having to file a claim. you got to file an insurance claim. You need your insurance to come through for you. But you weren't very transparent when you had that policy written. You're going to run into some roadblocks. Potentially get your claim denied. So I think a lot of people don't think about that. They're like, let me just,
I can fudge on this.
Yeah, let me fudge
bit.
it a little bit, get the better price. But what good is a lower monthly premium if after you've been paying it for 6 months and you actually need it, it doesn't come through because you told a little white lie.
Oh, yeah. And I know age kind of plays into it. Like people under 25, and let's say you're part of the family business and you graduate, you're 18 and like, well, I'm going to work for, the family business for the folks here for a little bit. And all of a sudden there's little junior, little miss out there driving, the truck or something. It's like, okay, Yeah.
Well, younger drivers are a bigger risk.
Yeah.
And we all know why. We all know how we were when we got our first car.
Oh, well,
zipping through the streets. At least I can speak for myself.
No, I'll say this. I hope I'm not retreading on this. I'm a kid. Mom and dad, school teachers, vocational teachers, and they treated themselves to a Corvette.
Oh,
second owners still got it in the family after they've already gone. And there I am with my driver's license. And mom and dad were out of town. Sis was staying over at a friend's house. I said, you know what? I washed the car. I waxed the car. And I was like, I am going to be a big boy. And I'm going to go down to the corner store and I'm going to get me a soda and a Snickers bar. And then I'm going to cruise the town. And all of a sudden I get down there, just a couple of blocks away. Did I eat it in the car? No. I'm not dumb. A chocolate stain in that car? Nope. It was a steel blue interior. And I topped off the tank with high test, with premium gasoline, because that's what Dad used. The performance vehicle needs premium fuel. So that's what I did. And then I'm driving, and my hometown's Mission, Texas, and I'm driving up Conway. I took Old 83 over to Tom Landry Boulevard, and I'm like, look at me. And I was sitting there doing the speed limit. I think it was 30 miles an hour. And all of a sudden I got near Kika de la Garza Loop and I went, oh, I'm in the vet. People know this car. They know my folks. I'm in it by myself and I'm insured on it. And then I thought, oh, this is not good. Oh, the trip odometer. Dad zeroed it before he left and he knew the actual mileage. So I just tootled on back home. And I parked it, made sure I wiped it down, car cover on it. Yeah. And Monday morning, I'm going to go to school, and Dad goes, hey, saw you took the vet out. And I went cold. And I went, yeah. He goes, any problems? No. He goes, you topped off the tank. And I went, yeah, it was down like a quarter, and I did it. He goes, okay. And where'd you go? I got a soda and a candy bar. I didn't eat it in the car. I'm not stupid. He goes, what else did you do? I said, I was probably on the road for less than 10 minutes, and I had to come home. I'm so sorry. And Dad goes, your mother not out of town. Your sister's away from the house. You have the car. You washed it and waxed it. Thank you. And you just tootled around town to get a candy bar, fill up the car for me, and then you come back home. And he goes, what kind of outlaw are you? You didn't pick up a friend. You didn't go cruise to see if there was a girl somewhere. I said, no, I just didn't want to get my hind end whipped. And he goes, well, thanks, but you got to ask. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And just like you right now, Dad's laughing at me, and I'm like, I am no outlaw. I'm too.
He's like, you had an opportunity there.
Yeah,
glad you didn't take it. But.
Yeah, but he's like, what's your deal, man? He's like, where's the outlaw? And I'm like, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. So, but that's the thing. Let's say under 25, of course, there's a risk. And if it's two-door, that's a sport coupe. That's another. That's much like I say, hey. A four-door, a sedan. That there's nothing wrong with that. But I know the young.
You got to just think about sports car, right? Younger driver to the insurance company, they're going to think, it's a Mustang, it's a Camaro, it's a Charger,
or even a two-door Jeep Sport,
or even a Jeep Sport, even that. And they're 17, 18. are they really gonna drive the speed limit? And maybe, but most likely no. Statistically, no.
Oh.
So it's bigger risk. And I again, I know how I was when I first got my license. I mean, I was pedal to the metal.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I got the license, took my little 1999 Chevy Cavalier.
Oh, dude.
I was hitting the pavement, man. And first thing I did is I got pulled over.
How far did you make it from the house?
No, I was, man.
Was it a Z24 Cavalier? Or?
No, it was. It was
man.
A base mod. I wish.
Or was it Z34?
I think it's a Z34.
Z34, yeah.
But no, it's base model, and 2-door coupe.
Yeah.
But no, I got it. I got in the car. I go down. I grew up in Blaine. Blaine's not, at least back then, it wasn't that big of a town.
Blaine, Minnesota?
Blaine, Minnesota, yeah. So I go down, I believe it's University Avenue, it's the main street there, and I'm maybe 4 minutes from my house.
Oh, my God.
And I cut off a cop, not paying attention.
Dude!
And she pulls me over.
Oh, no!
Yeah, she calls my parents, which I didn't know. So
she knew your folks?
Well, so I don't know if she knew them. I don't know how this worked out where she ended up calling them. Maybe she did. It's not that big of a town, so maybe she did.
Oh, dude.
She calls my parents. I get home. My mom goes, so how's your day? How's everything good? It's like, yeah, everything's good. Chilling, everything's fine.
Oh, getting a flashback. Keep going. I'm like,
the story sounds familiar to a lot of people. And she goes, yeah, I just got this interesting call from a police officer that you got pulled over. And I was like, oh, yeah, about that. Forgot about that. Luckily, my mom was cool about it. But, that was the first thing I did when I got my license. I got pulled over. So, fun story there.
The first time I got pulled over, I was riding a go-kart on the street in front of my childhood home. And I came, and Dad saw it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just riding right there in the front of the street, and I kind of went out and came back. And dude, I got pulled over back, and he just watched. And I drove back, and I'm just sitting there. Dude, I was like 9 or 10. I'm like, he's like, what's wrong? I went, I got pulled over by a girl because it was a female cop. I was just crushed. And the second time, I was in a go-kart, and it was a cop. It was a 2-seat go-kart, and I had a buddy with me, and he's riding with me. We went through the alley, and I turned around, and then we heard this whoop, and I turn around, and there's the cops coming through the alley.
Oh, man.
I guess he was cruising through, and he saw us running around, and we're almost to my house because it was on a corner lot. So we're coming up the alley, and as I turn over my shoulder, and I look, and I went, there's a cop. And I can't make this up. He looks me dead in the face, and he says, punch it. And I looked at him like, what? And he's like, come on, man. Like Bo and Luke, Dukes of Hazzard. And I'm like, this is not a 69 Charger. That's not a 440 Magnum or a Hemi. That's a 5-horse Briggs & Stratton pull start. And we ain't going anywhere. And we pulled into the driveway, and he's like, hey, you boys, you ain't need, be doing that. All right, thanks a lot. And then, of course, he looks at me and goes, well, he's the one, the girl that pulled you over. And I'm sitting there going, you have to bring that up again, man. So I think we were 12 or 13. It was a great time.
I'm sure your dad had fun with that one.
Oh, he laughed his hind end off. He was standing there. He had the shop open. He was working on a model airplane. He was like, oh, look at this.
Watch it play out.
Yeah. And of course, Dad and my buddy's laughing at me. I'm like, what are you laughing at, dude? You were with me. And he goes, he says, what'd you tell him? And he says, I told him punch it. And then Dad just belly laughed. He's just like, oh, you boys are horrible. Also, shout out to I hate saying this. I said Dukes of Hazzard. Yesterday, August 9th, we lost Ben Jones, who played Crazy Cooter Davenport.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Gen X, we, salute Ben Jones. And I believe he was a elected representative 4 times. So thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. The Dukes family lost another one. But getting pulled over is not fun. And the thing is, how does that affect your insurance record?
Oh yeah, so that's a good question. So tickets.
Go-kart's not included.
Yeah, yeah. Luckily, you didn't have to. You were 9. You didn't have to worry about that.
No joke, dude.
But tickets on your insurance record typically affect your insurance rate for about 3 years.
Ooh.
After 3 years, it falls off usually. But for that 3-year period, you're going to see some higher rates again because you look like a bigger risk.
What's the average? Like over 25?
It really does. So I will say the younger you are with a ticket, the more of an impact it's going to have versus the older you are with the ticket. And then, again, over 25. So once you hit 25, your insurance rates typically drop. You're going to see a drop in those rates because that's kind of the age statistically where drivers tend to mellow out a bit and you have less accidents, less speeding, whereas people under 25 statistically get into more accidents. So,
okay, because I have teenage daughters and they're on their mother's insurance, and I just worry because one of them, she drives a Volkswagen Beetle, and it's 2-door, and I'm like, oh, it's a sport coupe. That's a lie. I had a 74 Super Beetle in the Army, and so when the ladies would say, "So what do you drive?" I drive a 2-door German sport coupe, and they think Porsche.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, Ferdinand Porsche designed it. It's a bug. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, I was curious about how that worked out with a license and whatnot, and of course the young kids and whatnot. What about? Here's a question. I got to ask this. I have a vehicle. I'm insured. Let's say the comprehensive, the hybrid right there, before the golden parachute one. And let's say I got my buddy with me. And we're on a road trip. I'm like, hey, I'm tired. You want to drive? Yeah. Now, if they're driving my vehicle and they're not listed on the insurance, how does that kind of play?
That is a great question. So you have what's called permissive use, which is basically it means you can allow someone to occasionally use your vehicle. And as long as they have a license, they'll typically be covered as a driver, even if they're not listed on the policy. Now, not all insurance companies allow permissive use.
Okay.
You got a handful of them that do. Usually it's your big names. But that's something where you want to talk to your agent about, right? To understand what's actually included and allowed in your policy and what's not. Because if you have a company, and usually it's the smaller companies that don't allow it, and if you have one of those and you got your buddy driving and he gets into an accident while he's in the driver's seat and he's not on your policy, you might have a problem. So those are things you want to pay attention to and ask about when you're getting your insurance. Yeah,
because when I'm one of a couple of people, or in the circle I have, and there's a couple of trucks, but it's like, hey man, can I use your truck? It's like, don't bend it. Put a little bit of fuel in it. I don't mind, but with the insurance aspect, I wanted to know how that played out.
Yeah.
So, and when you said permissive use, it's like, I was about to say, be careful saying that if you get pulled over. It's like, it's okay, officer, I have permissive use. It's like, we're not outside of a Colorado dispensary. Get out of the car. Let me see your hands. Yeah. So permissive use, I got to remember that. What's it? I know I don't want to say, because you said depending on the company and the policy, not everybody does it. If you could, like a ballpark average, like what would tagging that onto your rate, what would that be in the ballpark of?
So typically it's not really an add-on. Usually it's either the company does it or they don't.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of, it just depends on the company.
It's like, oh yeah, this little drop down right here, this little bullet point. We also have this. So
it's something you want to ask about because it's not really.
Like my kids, like if they visit and they use the truck, it's like permissive use.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's people who don't live with you. They can't live in the same address as you, and it's occasional use. Meaning, like you said, they're visiting.
Yeah, and it's not a daily.
Not a daily, not on a regular basis. It's every once in a while, occasionally. Then it's covered. And again, depending on the company, you got to ask. Hey, I'm getting with Progressive. Do they have permissive use? Oh, yeah, Progressive does allow permissive use.
Okay.
Whereas, maybe your Prontos and your Fred Loyas, those don't. So
I got you. Yeah, and like I said, it's sometimes when you're the only person with a truck. Now, let's say if they wanted to borrow my trailer and my trailer's covered, that would also fall under permissive use, would it not? Or is it being hooked to their vehicle on their policy?
That is a good question. Now, I have never seen permissive use being applied to a trailer. That one I'm not 100% sure on. I would think just based off of how your trailer policy, your typical trailer policy is, you're going to want to have whoever's using that trailer, whoever's operating it, be on the policy.
Yeah. Oh, like Big Brother, like he has a truck, and it was my mom's truck. I call him Big Brother. He's adopted. He just, too bad you're adopted now. You're part of the clan, and he fixes boats. So when he goes to pick up a client's boat, if he's the one picking it up for maintenance or service, like depending on their policy, depends on if it's covered.
Yes.
And it's like, that's another permissive use question, or because it's going through maintenance or something. And is it an accredited business, or is it like a shade tree kind of situation?
Yeah,
these are all
details matter. Details matter with insurance, and you're going to want to ask questions about, hey, in this scenario, would I have coverage if my buddy uses my boat, or whatever it may be, because if you're like, for example, if you're you're sitting across from one of my agents and you're getting an insurance policy, and you say, yeah, I have this motorcycle that I use on the weekends. Can you go ahead and get me a policy? Sure. And then in the course of conversation, we find out that you let your cousin who lives across the street drive the motorcycle whenever he wants. Well, now that changes things. Yeah. Right? Because now we want to look at making sure that your cousin is covered when he's using it.
Yeah, even though it's a weekend toy, it's his weekend.
Exactly.
Or something. Yeah, okay. Because, man, I gotta know, man. I don't mind sharing the toys, but I just want to make sure it's like, is this,
Yeah, you don't want to. Of course, you don't mind letting your buddy or your friend, your cousin use your vehicle or whatever it may be. But what you got to think about is if something happens, you want to make sure you're covered.
So. Yeah. Oh, hey man, can I borrow the vet? No. No.
No chances.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Trailer? Yeah. It's cool. Key to the house, not a problem. Vet, now there's a problem.
You can take the house, but not the vet.
Yeah, that's right. Cool. Now, and I know you're a busy man. We've been going here for a while, and Tristan, I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And dude, awesome. This is a realm that I've never. Not everybody gets to sit and really talk to a rep until they're about to purchase, and this is good stuff, brother. I'm telling you, I'm like, oh my god. Now my head's swimming, and now when it comes down to it, I'm definitely coming to y'all, of course, here with the company. Oh, that's another thing. I drive a company vehicle, and thank you, Jeff Bezos and Amazon Prime Days. I have now a dash cam. How does that help with insurance? And does it?
Depends on the company.
Once again.
So there are certain discounts that may be applied. For example, I'll throw out another one. If you have a tracking device on your vehicle, like
or the module that plugs into the OBD reader, right? Like when you go for you guys come in and get service, they go, oh, plug the computer in. It looks like an old printer port. From like a 15-pin thing or whatever, and that's an OBD reader, and they have modules that can plug in there now. Yep. And you can track your teen driver, their driving habits.
Yes.
To see if little junior or little miss is going to sit there and be a speed demon in their Z34.
So having a recovery device is a discount with some insurance companies. A pretty big discount actually. So that's something that can help lower your rate, just having that. And a lot of vehicles now they come built in. Like a lot of the Ford vehicles, you can track your vehicle with the app.
Yeah, Ford app. I've got that. Also OnStar.
Yep, OnStar is another one that counts as a recovery device. So those things are discounts a lot of people may not know about that can help lower your rate. Dash cams. There aren't too many insurance companies that give a discount for dash cams. But the benefit of a dash cam is if you are in an accident, it makes the claims process that much easier because you have proof of what happened.
Yeah, that helped my oldest daughter. She was in with her friend in her car, and I even asked her. I said, "Prime Days, I'll get you a dash cam. Talk to your mom. Let's get this going." And of course, being a teenage kid, it's like, oh, I forgot. I'm like, well, I'm getting one for me.
Yeah. It's a good idea. I definitely would recommend it.
But the thing is, she's riding with her bud in their car, or her friend's car, and they got rear-ended. And because they had a camera facing backwards, the other person said, "Oh, they backed into me." It's like, that's not what Exhibit A.
Right, we've got it all recorded.
Yeah, it's like you hear the Law and Order glung glung, and it's like, okay, so it's like it wasn't their fault. And I guess when it comes down to that, with a police report showing, oh, this is opposite of what was said.
Yeah, a big part of that claims process is going to be that police report, and so whatever the conclusion was of the police report does carry quite a bit of weight with the decision that claims adjuster is going to make. So if you've got proof, it helps a lot. You can just play the video. This is what happened. And I mean, you can't really argue with with that. So
yeah, okay. Like we have rideshare with Lyft and Uber. Now they have their own kind of insurance thing. But if somebody is doing rideshare, is there an extra part of a company that carries that kind of policy?
Yeah. So some companies will have an add-on, like an endorsement you can add to the policy to cover you while you're doing Uber Eats,
that's right,
DoorDash,
Uber Eats,
that type of thing. It is not generally, it is not covered in your regular personal auto policy.
Okay.
So just a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people do DoorDash for some extra cash, and they think they're covered. If you don't have that endorsement on your policy, that added coverage for rideshare, then it's not covered.
And you have to ask.
Yeah, you need to have it added.
Yeah, I do Uber Eats, I do Uber Lyft, and or whatever, that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
Especially, we don't have it down here, but I know in San Antonio, Austin, it's called they call it Lyft XL. Then there's Uber Black, where you have a luxury vehicle, like you're driving, a Denali, or for some people, a Navigator, or something high end, large SUV, and you're going to be in San Antonio or Austin traffic on a Saturday night.
Yeah, you want to be careful.
Yes, dropping somebody off at the club. It's like, I want to go to the front door where the velvet rope is. And you're pulling up, and all of a sudden somebody just barrels around the corner in their $400 blank box. They just got off Facebook Marketplace and they're leaving an oil streak behind. All of a sudden, bam! It's like. It's good to have that on a luxury vehicle and to make sure that you have that little box checked.
For sure.
So, I was wondering because another buddy of mine, he does rideshare. And I'm like, how does that
a lot of people don't know. They think that I've got insurance, I'm good.
Nah.
But if you don't have that endorsement on there, it is not covered.
Because I asked him, I said, does that play into... whether you're on, like when the app is on, they can see it.
Yeah.
And I think that's
the difference too. So like if you say you do DoorDash or whatever, but you're not actively in the middle of an order, you're just going to the gas station.
Or you just dropped it off.
Yeah.
And now you're off the clock.
Yeah, and you're just off the clock. Well, then, that's your regular insurance company, your regular insurance policy, because you're just driving your vehicle at that point. So that's where that regular coverage would kick in if something were to happen. But when you're using your vehicle for any type of ride share, you're going to want to have the ride share coverage.
Yeah, you're walking in that realm now. And I was wondering about that because I know it was a trend for a while of people getting ride share as a passenger and then they quit the ride and the driver is sitting there going, hey, did you just end the ride? Hey, that's not right. It's like, you fool, you're still driving. It's like, oh, you ended the ride? I immediately pull over.
Pull over and get him out of here.
You're out of here. And they go, oh, I'm going to drive you to the police station. It's like, I ain't doing that.
No.
We're
not going a centimeter further.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, you bought those Chuck Taylors, put them things to work. Left, right, like Uncle Sugar taught me. Get after it. Yeah, I was wondering about that. It's like, as soon as they stop the ride, that insurance window changes.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, they're in your private vehicle.
And that's where it gets tricky.
With a lawsuit in case, I hurt my neck. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good stuff, bro. Wow. Dude, thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean,
not just for the podcast. I mean, I'm like, this is food for thought for me, man. And hopefully y'all out there.
I'm loving this.
Dude, this is great. And okay, you're a busy man. I know your phone's chiming. I know the door's closed. We got to get this going. Okay. You're in the Cavalier. You're not being pulled over, which is a good thing. What's coming out of the stereo? What's coming out of the radio?
Oh, man. That's a question right there. I have a very wide range for my musical tastes. So I guess it just depends on the mood I'm in. Right now, so back then, probably would have been Linkin Park.
Wow. Yeah.
I was a big Linkin Park fan. Let's see, what else was I really into? Rap music.
Yeah.
Really loved rap. 116 Click. I don't know if anybody knows who that is. That's a kind of a subgenre of rap.
I'm going to check it out with my Spotify now. I must know what this is.
Yeah.
It's musical I got to know.
Good stuff, though. But yeah, that's kind of what I was, soft rock and rap was when I was a teenager, what I listened to most of the time. But now I'm really into country.
Welcome to Texas.
Yes, exactly. As soon as I got here, I had my cousin who lived in Houston. He's like, "You're going to start liking country, trust me." It's like, no, not me. They're not going to get me. And they got me. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I really like Tucker Wetmore. I really like. Let's see.
Hold on, that's a new one. I gotta.
I might be saying his name wrong. I just started listening. Tucker Westmore, I believe it is.
Okay, Tucker. Okay,
Westmore.
Okay, Tucker. Where's he out of?
I do not know. So I actually came across his music on Spotify. I really like Thomas Rhett.
Okay, Tommy Rhett, yeah.
So I was doing country hot hits, and he comes up. Wine into Whiskey is the name of the song. Great
Thomas
song.
Rhett or Tucker?
Tucker.
Okay, hold on. Wine and Whiskey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds country to me. Hold on here. Doot. And Wine and Whiskey.
Wine into Whiskey.
Oh, Wine into Whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. This is a heartbreaker. Is it not?
It's a breakup song. A good song though. I really like the vibe of the song. It's
Love and Love Lost. That's
yeah.
three. Well, we say in country is 3 chords and the truth.
Yeah.
And I was a rocker by trade. So when we, as a kid, road trips, mom, dad drove. He just drove, and mom had the country radio on. Mm-hmm. We going up north. There's Bob Kingsley with a weekly country top 40. Top 40. And some people are having a flashback right now, or somebody out there going, play some Keith Whitley, or something.
Yeah.
But going from a rock band, it's like, yeah, we're making noise. This is some outlaw type. Yeah. And then I got in the country band. I'm like, wow, I'm getting paid to do this. This is awesome. And mom's like, it's about time. So Wine into Whiskey by Tucker Westmore. And the thing is, I asked that. Why? Because there's a musical portion, and I'm going to get that out for you really quick. But I got to also ask. I forgot about Thomas Rhett, but I need help because at my vintage, people say, hey, what country music you listen to? I'm like, Haggard, Jones, Don Williams. And they're like, that's what my papaw used to listen to. I'm like,
it's the old school.
Yeah, it's good stuff, But I need to know more of what the youngsters are listening to. Like,
oh man,
I'm like Steve Buscemi with the skateboard. Hello there, fellow high school kids.
I don't know if I'm the one to ask for what's hot in country music right now. I know personally for me, Thomas Rhett. I'm a huge Thomas Rhett fan. I really like a lot of his music.
What songs are his?
Another sad love song, "Marry Me."
Which one? What's it called?
"Marry Me."
Oh Lord.
I believe that's the name of the song.
Oh Lord.
That one's a good one though.
That's a breakup song?
It kind of. It's kind of a love lost. She
said no.
She went with the other guy kind of song. But I don't know. I guess I like that kind of sad country music.
Well, that's bourbon music right there.
Yeah, there you go. It's drinking music, right?
Yeah. That's the big girl pop with the foam on top. That's what it is. We like to remind you to live responsibly. Oh, that's another thing. Mm-hmm. Just going back to insurance right quick. A DUI on the record.
Now that's a big one.
Yeah, hold on. Let's pause with the music. Mm-hmm. No pun intended. But no, a DUI on the record. That happens to people. Life happens.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Now, you said 3 years for what was it?
For the tickets.
A speeding ticket.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The DUI, what are we talking about?
So DUI can last on your record up to 7 years.
Dang, dude.
And you're going to be paying a bit more. And then it also just depends on, too, because sometimes with the DUI, you're going to have to get an SR-22. Right?
And what's that?
That's where the court, they say, hey, you have to have proof that you are keeping insurance, right? That you're keeping at least liability insurance.
Because if you do get a DUI, do you maintain your license?
That it depends.
And so if you do maintain it, you have to fill out that SR-22
yes.
to say, I do have it. And, of course, go through the proper things that the court deems, like if you're going to go to rehab or something or whatever it is.
Yeah, so that's a big one where
fines,
it can really impact you quite a bit. DUI as well as any serious license violation, driving without a license.
Oh yeah, driving with suspended license.
That's a big ticket that can really affect your insurance. Suspended license, driving with a suspended license, driving without insurance.
Oh, yeah.
That ticket can really impact you when you do go get insurance. Your rates are going to be a bit higher if that's on your record.
Yeah,
so.
Driving, which is worse, driving without a license? Like, does it mean physically in your hand?
So, I'm not too sure.
Since I was 6 or whenever, when did I get my license? When I was 17, dude. I have mine. I'm not going to say it here, but I have my number memorized.
Yeah.
And I've actually been pulled over, gotten a warning. I said, I don't have my physical license, but I'm going to go ahead and give you my license number. And they go, you have it memorized? I go, yeah. Don't ask me what I had for breakfast.
Well,
but I'll tell you.
I know that the police can pretty much look up all your information.
Yeah.
So, whether they want to give you a ticket for not having it physically or not, I think that's kind of up to the discretion of the cop. Because they got it all on their little computer back there. So.
Yeah, I kept my insurance card in the car, and I think I was taking the kids to school. This was years ago. Private vehicle. And I was like, hey, I just dropped the kids at school. They literally, blah, 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 plus tax. They literally go to school here, and I'm just making my round back to the house. And he was like, oh, okay, no problem. And I think he popped me for, he called it a California roll. I didn't come to a complete stop at a stop sign. Bad me. But, that was not fun. But I said, I got my license number memorized. And he goes, that's unusual. But I said, it stuck with me, man.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
I was just curious about the DUI thing, and now driving without a license, suspended license. What else is there involving your license? Driving without insurance, of course.
Yeah, driving without insurance is a big one. You can get a hefty fine for that as well.
Yeah, they don't do tickets for driving as a dipstick, but everybody like, there should have been 5 handed out my way here.
Yeah.
I got you. Cool. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and get that song out here. I just wanted to make sure we cover the bases on that dreaded DUI thing. And you said 7 years it sticks with you?
Could be up to 7 years, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I do that kind of business at home. I just stay there. It's like
it's smarter. I mean, get a designated driver, or just stay home.
Yeah, Gran Turismo, Forza, do it that way, man. Come on. I mean, so right now we're going to get the musical portion here. Tucker Westmore. We're going to do a tribute to him with Wine into Whiskey, and I'm also going to check out Thomas Rhett, and also I'll check out what was it?
116 Click. They're individual rappers now. They've got their own albums out. But back when I was in high school, they were a rap group, 116 Click. So
cool. I'm gonna check that out just because, man, I like the hip hop stuff, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like we were talking like right before. It's like I've got software for music and stuff, and the first great hip hop stuff was James Brown beats, and people are going,
that's where it started.
Yeah. People think, is that true? Think of Invoke. Never gonna get it. That's big payback.
Evolved over time.
Oh yeah, my dad loved James Brown. He says, people saw Elvis. It's like, oh, look at this, and Dad goes, I saw James Brown on TV, and he's like, the world has changed. So we're gonna get that music out right now. Alrighty, folks. I'm actually calling an audible on this one because after hearing Tucker Wetmore's Wine into Whiskey, what a heartbreaker that is. But guess what? Thomas Rhett probably beat that out with a song called Marry Me. So we're going to go ahead and do that tribute, all right? I'm sure that, Tristan, you won't mind, okay? And away we go. She wants to get married. She wants it perfect. She wants her granddaddy preaching the service. Yeah, she wants magnolias out in the country. Not too many people save her daddy some money. Ooh, she's got it all planned out. Yeah, I can see it all right now. I'll wear my black suit, black tie down in the back. I'll do a strong shot of whiskey straight out the flask. I'll try to make it through without crying so nobody sees. Yeah, she wanna get married, but she don't wanna marry me. I remember the first night when I almost kissed her. Yeah, I kinda freaked out. We've been friends for forever, and I'd always wondered if she felt the same way. When I got the invite, I knew it was too late, and I know her daddy's been dreading this day. Oh, but he don't know he ain't the only one giving her away. I'll wear my black suit, black tie down in the back. I'll do a strong shot of whiskey straight out the flask. I'll try to make it through without crying so nobody sees. Yeah, she wanna get married, but she don't wanna marry me. Bet she got on her dress now, welcoming the guest now. I could try to find her, get it off of my chest now, but I ain't gonna mess this up, so I wish her the best now. So I'm in my black suit, black tie, hiding out in the back, doing a strong shot of whiskey straight out the flask. I'll try to make it through without crying so nobody sees. Yeah, she wanna get married. Yeah, she gonna get married, but she ain't gonna marry me. She ain't gonna marry me. And that brings us up to the end of the musical portion. And guess what? Mr. Tristan Guyton has to sit here. Guyton, he says it's Guytan. Look him up.
Guyton.
T-O-N. My bad. See, I told him before we started, every announcer and MC is like, I don't want to get the name wrong. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. I'm trying to do this respectfully. It's a nightmare and a half when it's like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Oh, that's their name. I didn't even get that right. So shout out to Mary Poppins and Dick Van Dyke. Julie Andrews, that's what I meant to say. But here we are at the end of the segment. Tristan's got to get back to work. He is the agent manager for Payne Insurance Group. 10 years, going strong.
Yes.
1 decade. And home, auto, soon to be life.
Yes, life coming soon. Mm-hmm.
So, and where can they log on to? I know it's PayneAutoGroup.com, but also Payne Insurance Group.
Yeah, Payne Insurance. So on the Auto Group website, at the top, you'll see Get a Quote. You can click on that. It'll take you to our insurance website, or you can give us a call, 956-832-5600, and we can help you out, give you a quote over the phone, or answer questions, whatever you need.
They got the real-time chat there for y'all, too?
We don't have the chat. That's something we should actually look into that. But no, phone, or you can enter your info online for a quote online.
Nice.
And so, yeah, we can either way.
Soon to have the real-time chat. Gold star for Chris.
I had an idea. Look into the AI chatbot situation. That might be something coming down the line.
I'll do the voice for it. You have reached. It'll sound like this summer, your new insurance rate could be this.
The epic movie announcement.
Yeah. Shout out to the late, great Don LaFontaine. Tristan, the floor is yours to close us out. Go ahead, sir.
So thank you so much, Chris, for having me on. This was a fun experience. Now I can check podcast off of my my bucket list there.
Yay!
But yeah, this was awesome. And if you guys want to, have any questions about your insurance, if you want a free quote, go ahead and give us a call at 956-832-5600 or PayneInsurance.com. I'd be happy to help you.
All right, excellent. Tristan, thank you very much. This has been an education for me. And for those of you out there, you can ask those questions, use this as a reference. And if you have some more questions, hey, put them to the test. I mean, I was shooting from the hip today, and still it's an education for me. And it can not just be an education for you, but to keep you insured on the road, at home, in life, maybe even in the air. So we'll find out how that goes. Once again, I'm Chris Marshall of the Payne Street Team, brought to you by PayneAutoGroup.com. And this has been another wonderful, exciting episode of Payne Auto Talk. We'll see you down the road, and we are gone.